Gaming has always been changing, from the years of the Atari to the current day with modern-day consoles and gaming PCs. Now, we are in the current generation of gaming with 4K outputs and 165 FPS. What is next for gaming? Well, stay tuned to today's video as we are going to discuss the future of gaming and gaming consoles as a whole. First up, what will gaming consoles of the future look like? The future of gaming is ever-changing, and as we enter a brand new generation of consoles, we look to the future of what things might be. Over the last few years, the gaming industry has thrown many curveballs at us, but nothing as of yet has leaked for the next generation. Today, we thought we would have a look at the future of gaming consoles and what will make them stand apart from the current PS5 and Xbox Series X era. Back in 2017, Phil Spencer, Xbox chief, spoke about the future of gaming consoles and the ways that they are already changing. He said that he believes console games will cover a wide variety of different hardware generations, rather than remaining stagnant or dying out altogether. He went on to note that console games are beginning to look and feel more like mobile titles every year, not in terms of graphics, but in terms of games as a service. Games as a service are the current trend within the gaming industry, where developers will release a well-developed game and slowly make it better over time after release. They will sell expansions and DLCs to their customers to keep them coming back every year. Games like Destiny 2 and Final Fantasy have been doing this for a long time now, and we have seen Call of Duty recently step into this as the current Modern Warfare title will not just cover 1 year like every other previous COD title. None of the current Xbox consoles have really had a massive leap forward, even with the Xbox Series X, as it was only minor improvements to push it into the next generation of consoles. The main big thing was better processing power and better graphics, but that's about it. PlayStation, on the other hand, has been moving forward pretty quickly, as the PS5 was something of a massive jump in the industry. It also came along with the PlayStation VR a few years prior, and the PlayStation VR 2 should be released next year. This is where the next generation of gaming seems to come from, as VR slowly takes over the market. Sony and other companies are trying to make VR a much more comfortable experience and make it easier to access. Many games are released solely on PlayStation VR, or have modes that allow you to play them in virtual reality. PlayStation's VR technology is phenomenal and definitely one of the best out there. We can't wait to see what PlayStation VR 2 is going to bring to the market. Nintendo is in their own space in this current console market. The Nintendo Switch stands out amongst the other next-gen consoles. Just as they have done for years now, Nintendo sticks in their own lane and doesn't try to compete as much as Xbox versus PlayStation. Rather than releasing a current next-gen console after the Nintendo Switch, they have decided to stay with the console and slowly tweak it to fit people's needs. Whilst many people are a big fan of this, as the Nintendo Switch is seeing its age, it does allow Nintendo to stick to their route and produce things that they truly love. We are expecting a new Nintendo system in the next 2 years or so, as the Nintendo Switch is feeling pretty old at this point. When games are released, they don't look the greatest, and even first-party games like Pokemon Legends Arceus just looked terrible when you look into the backgrounds. They all run pretty poorly and can barely manage 30 FPS on a good day. The Nintendo Switch does have its charm, however, and is definitely one of the most influential consoles of the last generation. We hope that Nintendo goes back to its roots in creating a full home console system for the next generation to compete with the PS5 and Xbox Series X. But as tech continues to advance, will gaming consoles become a thing of the past? Not necessarily, but games streamed from the cloud are definitely gaining traction. It has changed how major brands like Microsoft and Nintendo manufacture consoles, with Microsoft foregoing a disk drive in its Xbox One S and opting for downloadable games. Nintendo also changed the game with the Nintendo Switch, a handheld device that can stream games onto a television. It's the best of both worlds. You can take the Switch wherever you want, but you can also play games on the big screen with people from all over the world. Gaming consoles are also expensive, and some companies are taking this note seriously. Xbox, for example, sold the Xbox One S for a more reasonable price compared to its previous Xbox One. These iterations of consoles are evolving in a similar way to smartphones. They are all quite similar, just slight improvements on one another. In the future, we can guess that Xbox, Nintendo, and Sony will continue to innovate. As Sony takes lead on VR gaming, Nintendo will continue to expand its handheld consoles. And who knows, Netflix may even make its mark in the video game sphere. Many have forgotten that Netflix is slowly entering the gaming market, as they have opened its platform up to allow video games. They have even begun funding other companies to create content and games for their systems. Rather than releasing a full console themselves, you can just play games through the Netflix browsing app, or even the app on your phone. Many of these games are mobile releases that are nothing like a full first-party PlayStation or Xbox title. However, this isn't going to stop the future of gaming. Streaming is definitely taking over. As PC gaming still continues to take over the market, many gamers take to streaming their games rather than buying them. Gone are the days of buying any physical PC titles, as most gamers nowadays just purchase their games from the Epic Game Store or Steam. Netflix is trying to compete within this market by releasing its own games on the Netflix system. This is definitely the future of gaming on PC, but is also reaching out to the console market. Stores are selling fewer and fewer physical copies of console games, as most people nowadays just purchase them digitally. There is definitely a group of people who love physical games for collecting, but the vast majority of casual players will just purchase them through a store. Times are changing, and streaming has taken over every facet of the market. We are now in an era where every game is online, and every game has been littered with microtransactions. This all works perfectly with the streaming market, as games will be lower priced or even free and be updated for months in years. One of the biggest changes within the gaming market is the way games are sold. Rather than releasing a full third-party $60 to $70 game, many people are opting to release free-to-play, all first-purchase games. What we mean by this is that the first purchase of the game will be relatively cheap, and you will be able to play the game for years to come if you keep up with buying the expansions. Another way to do this is free-to-play with something like Fortnite or Apex Legends. These games are known for being completely free to play, but every few months you can buy a battle pass or go into the store and buy skins with real money. This is what keeps the revenue stream going and allows more players to hop on the game, as it's completely free to try. The free-to-play market is what is driving the gaming world right now, as most companies are releasing some form of the free-to-play version of their game. Even massive games like Destiny 2 went free to play, a point as it was much more profitable than selling the game at a base price point. That isn't stopping Bungie from selling countless expansions and selling skins in microtransaction stores, but it does allow players to have a free entry option to decide if they want to get the game or not. A game like Destiny 2 has hundreds of hours to experience for free, but if you want to put down the money, you can get thousands of hours and so much content for the price. It's crazy how things have changed. Just a decade ago, people were lining up outside of stores to get the latest Call of Duty title. That's all we know about what the next generation and the future of consoles will look like. Times are changing, and we honestly have no idea what the next 5 or even 2 years could see for gaming. All we know is that everything is changing quickly, and that the future is definitely streaming rather than physical titles. And that's the end of today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed this latest video. If you did, would you please let us know down in the comment section below? It would be very helpful. Make sure to like the video, comment down below, and of course subscribe to the channel with the notification bell rung. wrong. Thank you for watching today's video. Bye!